I can't believe that some people still don't know who the GOAT of baseball is. It's not this two-way gambling degenerate. It's definitely not this stat-padding junkie. And this coal miner would have a stroke seeing a modern-day fastball. So who's the GOAT, you may ask? This is LaSteroid Daddy Hack IV, a 12-year-old prodigy that suffers from a sad, rare, and incurable disease that every time he makes contact with a baseball, it's a 500-foot piss missile cockshot. LaSteroid was born inside a nuclear power plant, has an IQ of 2, and got hit in the head with several rocks as a child. But boy, can this guy hit swamp donkeys. This behemoth prodigy got kicked out of the league for ruining the game of baseball years ago, but the commissioner has let LaSteroid return under one condition: as long as he doesn't bang his wife. That said, LaSteroid looks to pull off the most impossible feat in sports history, taking the Chicago White Sox to the World Series. The new pope is a Chicago White Sox fan. So, to honor him, the team has started the year with a 15-45 record. Besides the Field of Dreams game, the Sox haven't won a meaningful game since 2005. Last year, they broke the record for games lost, ending 80 games below 500, and are now considered the worst team in all of sports. The Sox will literally find a way to lose any game. Not even the Pope can save these idiots. So, out of pure desperation, the Southsiders turn to the newest resident of O-Block, LaSteroid Daddy Hack IV, to save their poverty franchise. The city of Chicago begged the 12-year-old who suffers from stage 4 chronic piss missile-itis to come out of retirement. All it took was the pass from his fellow O-Block neighbors. LaSteroid agreed to work for free, but he put a clause in the contract that if he takes the White Sox to the playoffs, he becomes the owner and gets to bang the current GM's wife. You guys get the point. Let's jump into the video.
The White Sox are the worst team in the MLB with a 15-45 record, so they'll basically need to win like 80% of their games to even have a chance at the playoffs. So they called up LaSteroid Daddy Hack IV out of retirement. After a long night of talking to the Huzz, it's time for the long-awaited return of the 12-year-old. Let's head to Colorado for the worst matchup in all of sports. LaSteroid's mission is clear: drag the Chicago White Sox to the playoffs. And it starts right here.
The Chicago White Sox going up against the Colorado Rockies. About to get started here.
Hit the gym, buddy. You're fat.
High fly ball to left and good. Oh, now this is blasted. Way back there, on its way, gone!
First pitch LaSteroid has seen in 2 years gets slapped into orbit.
White Sox fans who gave up on the team years ago immediately came out of hibernation after hearing the crack of the bat. Second at bat, fans chirping away. The behemoth shows bunt. Bang, another piss missile.
High and deep, way back there, on its way, gone.
LaSteroid is the most hated player in the league, and he embraces his role as the villain. He leaves the park to dead center in his fourth at-bat,
and it's into the bleachers,
and then caps off his return game, giving the Colorado fans a souvenir.
Warning track, wall, and you can touch them all, baseball man.
The Chicago White Sox snapped their 20-game losing streak in LaSteroid's long-awaited debut.
Major league career last game. Let's see if he can carry that power surge over to today. And we're back. Here's the catcher, Big Daddy Sir Dudenstein. He is quite an athlete. Adolim, back to work. That one is absolutely belted.
And somebody better inject me with penicillin because that ball is gone.
This one over the bleachers and it finds the concourse. Look out. That's pitch, one swing, one home run.
Yeah, you can say that's efficiency right there. Didn't need much time to slot to make it down.
LaSteroid, tired of the Rockies crowd, decided to keep one in the park for once, just to remind Colorado that their team is a glorified little league team. The 12-year-old turned on the jets and faked out these forklift operators for an inside-the-park home run. Loki should have joined these idiots instead of the Sox.
He's in there. It's 10-3.
Inside the park home run? That's pretty embarrassing.
Game 3 was more of the same as LaSteroid completes the sweep with a parking lot piss missile pummel, then hops on the jet back to Chicago, because it's time for the most anticipated home debut in sports history.
A special game at the Dish with 3 homers.
What if I told you the most attended sporting event of all time was not the Super Bowl, NBA Finals, the Kentucky Derby, or even the World Cup? The most attended game ever, breaking all records, is LaSteroid Daddy Hack's home opener for the Chicago White Sox. Millions of fans from all around the world packed into the south side of Chicago, so you know the 12-year-old had to put on a show. One at-bat after another, LaSteroid launched 500-foot piss missiles and swamp donkey cockshots into the stratosphere. Sending boredom from the millions of fans in attendance, Daddy Hack kept one in the park in his 4th at-bat. O-Block developed a performance-enhancing drug for LaSteroid, so he tapped into his speed and turned it into a home run. Being the worst team in history, the Sox choked their lead, leaving it up to LaSteroid in the bottom of the 9th.
It's drilled! Right center field! Lightning strikes!
It cost some people their mortgage or even their son's tuition just to get standing room tickets. But after witnessing that performance, they'd all tell you it was worth it.
But come on now. If this was gonna be this easy to save the worst team in sports, there wouldn't be a video. LaSteroid hit 5 cockshots, and the White Sox still
Certainly
lost.
not the reason they lost this game. Put together a 5-hit performance.
I just hit 5 swamp on you guys suck.
Game after game, the opposition would find ways to duck the smoke.
Cycle with a double.
The Cubs kept intentionally walking him, which is very smart, but super soft.
Any base with 2 gone.
Try to hit the ball over the shortstop's head.
A dive, nice stop, throw to first, and what a play! Ball game.
Teams across the league saw this strategy and tried it themselves.
Steps on the bag himself, ball game.
The White Sox are in serious trouble. It got to the point that LaSteroid wasn't even ready when pitches actually came in his wheelhouse.
Sends it to center, and that's going to do it. And that'll do it. The Guardians take game 1 of the series.
Prime LaSteroid would have tied the game there with a 450,000-foot parking lot pummel, but instead they lost by 2. Players across the league were starting to get so mad that he was let into the league that they would just throw at him, like when he was hit 3 times in a game here.
Ah, that hit him. And the leadoff man is aboard to start.
Big mistake, buddy.
Number 69. Was there any doubt?
The White Sox are now 20-62 after that walk-off swamp. That moonshot was heard around the league as LaSteroid Daddy Hack issued a PSA that he will never lose another game in a White Sox uniform. The era of losing is over. The Sox took a road trip out east and pummeled one team at a time.
There's a swing and a drive. Way back there. And out of here. He deposits that one into the monster seats.
We started off in Boston, where we pulled a Jared Duran on the fans and hit some balls into the stratosphere over the green monster.
Hammers that one deep left field and forget it.
The Red Sox were forced to change their name after getting swept by the worst team in the league.
And he knew it.
Then off to Pittsburgh, where LaSteroid embarrassed Paul Skeens so bad that Livy Dunn dumped him mid-game and went home with the 12-year-old.
Swings and blasts one deep to left center. Say goodbye to that one.
She's now a registered sex offender, but she'd tell you it was worth it. Then the Southsiders pulled up to New York, where LaSteroid is now known as the Yankee Killer.
Gone! Grand slam! Oh my!
Not even the torpedo bats could help this poverty franchise.
This one is blasted. A no-doubter. Grand slam.
LaSteroid was doing anything he wanted.
That game I had in Boston, game 6, down 3-2, it got to a point where I was just out there trying shit, one leg off the wrong foot, bump fades off my right shoulder. I'm not even a right shoulder bump fade guy.
Drilled out towards left center field. That's well struck. That's back. And wow!
Even turned this bunt into a home run, making these overpaid choke artists look like your local Little League squad on live television. People said LaSteroid got lucky, so he did it again here. Drop a comment challenging the GOAT and I'll do it in the next video. I reply to all comments. If I don't in 48 hours, I'll give you $69. But LaSteroid's road tour didn't end there. Just wait until you see this. The most impossible thing in all of sports is an immaculate inning. 3 batters, 9 pitches, 3 strikeouts. But would you believe me if I told you LaSteroid Daddy Hack IV, the 12-year-old on the Chicago White Sox, threw an immaculate game against the Houston Trash Tros? One by one, these idiots stepped up to the plate and got sent back to the dugout crying after seeing 3 disgusting pitches. LaSteroid showed his wide array of pitches in his arsenal, breaking the MLB record with a 125-mile-per-hour 4-seamer, and also touched below 30 miles to outplay the slowest pitch ever. LaSteroid told his teammates they could all take an off day today, so nobody even played the field. One by one, he sent these boys to LinkedIn to find a new job. Accountant, consultant, plumber, forklift operator, DoorDasher. Ni-hao buddy. 81 pitches and 27 strikeouts later, LaSteroid willed the Sox to an immaculate victory. The MLB commissioner has banned LaSteroid from ever pitching again in fear that it would ruin the league's ratings out of fans' sheer boredom. Since that walk-off and bold PSA, the White Sox haven't lost a single game. From 20-62 to 43-62. LaSteroid backed up every word, tying the single-season home run record, and then...
And you can feel the intensity in the ballpark. Everyone wondering if this will be the at-bat that sees him break the record.
Swing and a high fly ball. Well struck. This one's got a chance, and it's gone! And we have a new single-season home run king. One of the most revered records in baseball has been broken.
What a moment. You know he's feeling it on the inside. This is an achievement that will define his career, something that's bigger than even the sport itself.
Baseball history has a new name carved into it, and he's still 12.
A moment that will live on in baseball history for a long time.
That curtain call continued to light a fire under LaSteroid. As you watch him hit swamp donkey piss missiles into the stratosphere, please hit that like button and comment an obscure athlete name to enter a LaSteroid jersey giveaway. For every 1,000 likes this video gets, I'll give away 5 jerseys.
Around first, heading for 2. Round second, digging for 3rd. He's not stopping, on his way home. Save. He comes all the way around for an inside.
The White Sox continue to win games and battle back into the playoff picture. But all of these games have been sweaty. Lots of close calls, including this one.
And it paid off.
Here's a swing and a drive left field, and he knew it.
In this game against the Royals, I hit 6 home runs with 11 RBIs, and we still took these boys to the 12th inning.
On the ground to 3rd, Rojas.
LaSteroid is really a miracle
Throw to
worker.
first, ball game. And the White Sox slugged their way to a win in this one. Sir Dudenstein.
Now 61-62, let's head back to the south side for a barn burner.
Big spot, tying and winning runs aboard with 1 down.
The last thing he wants is to hit the ball.
Lots of fireworks lately in the south side of Chicago, not to get confused with those from O-Block. Literally, the next game, the Yankee killer strikes again.
Chance, at least we think. We'll see if the pitcher gives him anything.
Tying the game here in the bottom of the 9th and forcing extra innings.
Homer. His 4th home run of the game. It's 7-7. He only needed 1 swing to square
Can
it
the
up.
12-year-old work magic again?
Close one, doesn't get the call. And that is ball 1.
You've never been to Calgary, have you? No. Good skiing country.
Swinging and drive. Fastball. On its way. Ball game.
The Sox went on to win the next 20 games straight. It's looking real good that the Sox will make the playoffs as they are now second in the division.
Ball hammered, deep left, way out of here!
Fans across the league were starting to get mad, so the commissioner knew he had to do something. But you won't believe this. Holy shit! This new MLB rule is crazy. If a fan catches the ball, you are out. It doesn't matter if it's a weak foul ball or an absolute swamp donkey. If a fan makes a play, the batter is out. This rule was made to slow down LaSteroid Daddy Hack, the 12-year-old prodigy who has a sad, incurable disease that every time he makes contact with a ball, it's a 450-foot piss missile cockshot. Teams were just starting to put their outfielders in the bleachers and forcing all fans to wear gloves to the games, so LaSteroid started hitting the ball out of the park. Now hundreds of fans camp outside the stadium to try and slow down the GOAT. LaSteroid even tried batting lefty when he played the Giants, but a fan caught his cockshot in the water. Are y'all rocking with the new rule? Because the White Sox are not. After winning 64 straight, the White Sox have now lost 10 in a row since the 12-year-old can't just hit swamp donkeys anymore. He's gonna have to keep it in the park and fuck with the fielders. While fan attendance improved drastically, this rule literally nerfed LaSteroid and the Chicago White Sox, so he threatened the commissioner by banging his wife and forced him to change the rule back. The commissioner folded to the 12-year-old, because I literally have more subscribers than the MLB, the Chicago White Sox, and MLB the show combined. So enjoy these pop shots.
Absolutely belted.
I got tired of seeing mediocre content,
Hello.
so I knew I had to come back.
Okay, bombs away. Man, when he gets a hold of one, he sends it a long ways.
I promise as LaSteroid's agent to post consistently, but you gotta cut me some slack. These videos take forever to make and I make no money off these. I'm doing it for the love of the game, so hit that like button and comment. I will respond to all of them within 24 hours. Anyway, check out our day versus night record. Teams are literally scared to play in the south side of Chicago at night. Well, 89 and 72, we are now on top of the division.
Oh, goodness! That ball had a family!
But we need one more win to secure the 1 seed. And we are playing against the team we used to own, like actually own. And just like that, LaSteroid has carried the 20 and 62 Poverty Sox from the worst franchise in sports to the 1 seed. I am the greatest player to ever do it. See you in the playoffs. Peace.